This is a Headgum podcast.
Girl, this schedule's no joke.
It's rough.
Because I've never done that kind of thing before in that way.
Well, you're doing it alone, too.
Which is hard. And yeah, so you both, it's sort of either halves. It's like that schedule and this show.
Are you guys doing your show around the world, too?
What?
And doing, like, international dates? And
GT?
Yeah.
Ginger Twinsies?
No, not yet.
Ginger Twinsies, a parody of Dix the Musical.
Yeah. Yes.
That would be good.
Yeah.
A parody of an homage.
Of an homage.
Can I see your clip-ons? I know.
Yeah.
Because I brought this up with Tovah. I wanted to get a piercing.
Well, I love clip-ons. And in fact, was on Nicole Byer's podcast where I didn't have to wear headphones and brought up how podcast culture is homophobic because I always have to take.
Do you mind if I put them on?
Please, I would love. One of them is a little broken, like a little crooked. You'll notice that it doesn't work as well.
Let me tell you, I have to wear clip-ons for the show, and it took my ears a little bit. Now it's fine, but it took me like a week or so to get used to it. It was like the first few days, I was like, Jesus Christ, my lobes were in so much pain.
I get that,
but now
I like the aesthetic of them.
Is left side lets people know that I'm straight?
Sweetie, good luck either side.
I feel like
that looks great.
Does it? Can I tell you? I don't care if Tovah, but this is her line. This is too feminine for Tovah.
The clip-ons or just earrings? Period.
Earrings. Period.
Fascinating.
Earrings. Period. I've brought it up.
But wearing a just-in-time, a new musical T-shirt. That's masculine right down the barrel.
Oh yeah, you both have.
Well, I did this to honor Gianmarco.
Wow.
Who didn't see it?
I didn't see it, and let me say something.
I mean, it wasn't good, but I had a fabulous time.
I had a revelation last night about Broadway merch because I like wearing old merch shirts, and I go to a lot of contemporary shows, and I go, the merch is no good. And you know what it is? It's the stunt casting. The person and their name becomes the point of the merch.
Well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's her. I don't need it's about Adina. I want to see. It. I want your tree to be your shirt to be a tree.
Yeah.
But it's like this one I think is good. But at the end of the day, this is a good one. But it's
Mary has a good one too, and they're doing new ones for each person. But I just think that like portraiture is so iconic. That, Speaking of, we're gonna go tomorrow, Gianmarco and I.
On
a date,
yes,
to see Jinx.
Because Russell
I have
Russell
a very
canceled.
fun put-in rehearsal.
Sure,
I couldn't get out of.
Do you want to put on it too? What if like Dragon Ball Z
good.
Fuse? You don't know the reference.
No, I don't.
I'm excited to see it. I've seen every Mary, so I have to keep the streak alive.
You are. You could do it.
No, I'm saying I've seen everyone.
No, I'm saying like you could do it.
Oh yeah, but I think I'd rather be Abe actually.
Really?
Sort of. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
I find. Have you seen? How many of the Marys have you seen?
I've only
just
seen
one.
Cole.
I cannot make it a habit to be seeing Broadway shows one time.
I really
This will
want
be
to
my
see Hannah.
Well,
I haven't seen
This is
Hannah.
going to be my point because I've seen every Mary, and I say that to a lot of, quite frankly, who are like me too. And I go, even Hannah, and they go, well, no. And I go, well, then you haven't actually.
Yeah.
Hannah's incredible, and she's got announced dates now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you reference Russell as that word?
No. I just that's more. That I should have done to the.
No, you did it right
to the whole couch. Do it to the whole couch. We have the same schedule as O'Mary, so
I know.
I don't think there's any time I can see it.
Do you do? Well, now they do Thursdays at 3.
Oh, okay.
They moved because we used to have the same schedule too.
Yes. That's
but
why
I can see because it's at 3:00. But I'm so excited to see Jinx. I've seen that show 7 times.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wild. I mean, Cole's like one of my dear good friends, but it is a show I could see every month and be happy. It's just perfect to me.
Yeah. Cole,
much like Redwood in that way.
Cole's one of the. They were going to do the podcast, and then they had to cancel. And then like a week later, it was like, they'll never be able to do the podcast again.
Yeah.
And we've had 2 guests in that realm, and it's like okay.
And here I am back for a second time. What does that say about my career?
Listen,
it means you emailed.
Tovah just got extended September 11th.
Yes.
I love that it's going till September 11th.
Well, it's the funniest date.
Yeah.
because Austin Sparrow does our social, who does O'Mary and is a fabulous drag queen named Reese Havoc, but is like the best at doing social really in the game. And so we were filming a video to announce the extension, and we did one where I was just sort of like, now extended till 9/11, all tall things must fall, like a second block of tickets has just hit the Greenwich House Theater. And then we stopped and we were like, well, we can't use that, can we, as a targeted ad? But it was good to get it out of our systems, just like 6 9/11 jokes in a row.
But then are you, when you ultimately announce yet another extension, are you going to go like, it never happened, or it was something like that?
Yeah. What is it? Jet fuel doesn't melt.
Our Tower 7th extension. Is that the one that they say? What happened with Tower 7? Sometimes I watch the videos and I go like...
Sometimes you're a 9/11
you go, there's something to it.
No, 9/11 on Twitter it just comes up and it'll be like...
After you search for it.
Let me tell you that. It comes
up. On Twitter, when you just put in 9/11 was a hoax, it just comes up.
It just comes up. It's... I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm just like... I feel like people's problem with it, they go, it's like, a bad random thing happened. Mm-hmm. And then not a lot of it happens in America. And it happened, and you cannot believe that a bad thing just happened. I think conspiracy theories are a desire for order.
And they have their hearts in the right place, which is like, you shouldn't trust the government. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like there's like something, they're almost pointed in the right direction, but oftentimes ending. And there's so many sort of leftist conspiracy theories that are sort of true, as far as being like, oh yeah, the government's in cahoots with billionaires. It's like, dude, totally.
But how do you balance that? Someone came up to me recently, someone who hadn't seen him in years, and they came up and they said, "Oh my God, it's Tovah. Oh, how are you doing? Oh, I kind of took a break. I got sick from the vaccine." And then they moved on, and so I'm in no position to go, "No, you didn't." I'm in no position to say you would have gotten sick either way. I don't even know.
It's also like maybe you did a little, as you remember, that was one of the side effects, that he might have flu-like symptoms for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
But I can't say that to someone who maybe
you would have died if you had real COVID.
Too bad I didn't have you two there to really straighten them out.
Yeah,
the person who had to take it.
No, I know.
What do you say? What do you say?
No, you did the right thing. You go,
But my point is, you say don't trust the government. And then when do you?
No, it's true.
And we really struggle with that.
It's true.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
It's true. Think critically.
Yeah.
This is the downside.
1, 2, 3. Downside.
You're listening to The Downside.
The Downside.
With Gianmarco Soresi.
Welcome to The Downside. This is a place we complain, we get negative, we express how we actually feel, because no one's actually happy. We're just smiling for the pictures. And the moment that flashes off, we are back to our regular miserable selves. Join the Patreon for bonus episodes for every month. 4 bonus episodes every month, and footage from one of our live shows. I did see this last night. I saw Just in Time.
I really want to see
Jonathan Groff. It was great. Tovah put us. We got on the tables, and she positioned it where Jonathan Groff danced with her sister. At the
I saw this footage on Instagram.com.
And
the sister seemed to love it.
Yes, but I think what's so funny, and I now have permission to talk about it. This is her sister, very religious. Many years ago, her sister came to a show. Afterwards, I saw her. I didn't know. Tovah and I were like a year into dating, year and a half. Gave her a big hug. Everyone, no. It's because in the faith, you're not allowed to touch. And my God, the way she wrapped her arms around Jonathan Groff without a moment's hesitation.
The rules do not apply to famous people.
Yeah, not at all.
Well,
singing, dancing,
he's a fictional character in that moment.
Yeah.
He's come back from the dead.
I have to assume, say you're at Disney World, can you hug Mickey Mouse?
I don't think that Torres
Mickey Mouse,
covered
him, famously him, but that's a fictional character. You know what I mean? I wonder if because he's not playing a living person, it's a character.
Yeah.
I just wonder if you're allowed.
I imagine the Bible says animals.
The Bible.
Yeah, watch out.
Where do you think this all comes from?
Well, half of it, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on which religion?
No. Very Catholic.
Oh, very Catholic.
Can you look up
I was
Orthodox
picturing like a
Jew, when can a woman touch a man?
Yeah, okay.
Hugs, handshaking.
Orthodox Jew.
Dancing.
Orthodox Jew 9/11 was an inside job, and just see what comes up.
And just read it all for the next hour.
Fair
Orthodox
point.
Jewish hugging men, women. It's gonna come with like a porn
but this
category.
person, the sister is still of this faith, and yet is
look
the point.
at Reddit. That's the reliable. Don't look at that fucking AI. Get that fucking AI out of here.
Yeah.
God, I fucking hate this shit.
Right,
Me
first of
too.
all, I have no control over the AI.
It's not. Yeah, we need to pop off on that more. It's not cute, and we need to get.
No.
They're
people to,
forcing it.
and
My
people-
fucking Siri, it goes, do you want to use ChatGPT? And
No.
I scream, no. And it goes,
Yeah.
my Alexa, start using AI. It
And-
moves slower.
It's not even
And people
good
use
yet.
it in the craziest ways, like in small little ways, and like it's just kind of helpful to kind of put a playlist together. And like, no, just fucking do it yourself.
Aaron and I were talking about this recently because we both had experiences with different like press things where they were like, "Hey, by the way, is this the right bio or whatever?" And it was so wrong. And then what? Not to me, but to Aaron, they confessed like, "That's what I get for using ChatGPT." And it's sort of like, "Well, yeah, it's bad."
Yeah.
But I had something recently in press that like listed my age wrong, like basic stuff, and I was like, I bet you
They
just put
just
it into
did it.
ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and you're just like, well, it knows, of course, it doesn't actually.
There
Critical thinking.
needs to be some massive lawsuits. Like just someone's gonna die because they use ChatGPT. There's got to be a massive lawsuit. But we're fucked. We're fucked. It's everywhere. It's done. It's over.
No, it's true.
God, what does it say?
We have to be Philistines.
And one small defense of AI here, as a podcast producer, it would be way easier to find it, but I did have to do some digging. So sensual contact with a member of the opposite sex is apparently forbidden unless it's your spouse.
Essential? Is that the word you just said?
Sensual.
Essential.
Sensual. Dancing is by
Sensual.
nature sensual.
Yeah, but hugging, I feel like, isn't really.
No,
you
hugging
hug your
isn't.
grandmother. You
Yeah.
know.
How do you hug your grandmother?
I'm saying it's not
It's
sensual.
not sensual.
I know I'm saying.
I
yeah.
see.
Oh, no, I'm
And
saying
there's-
it is
the way you
sensual.
do.
You feel her every
Yeah.
curve.
Hugging is included. Hugging, kissing, or enjoying close physical contact. So
Now find out if it applies to fictional characters.
Yeah. Okay. Orthodox Jew.
Famous people.
Orthodox Jewish woman. Can I bet you
Can
it's
you
there.
hug Mickey
A
Mouse?
Mickey Mouse, a mascot at Disney World.
Yeah.
I bet it's there.
Because then I'm like, you can hug John Groff. He's the
I
Mickey
don't know
Mouse
if that I fully
of Just
follow.
in Time.
He plays himself though, playing the character.
that's
He
true.
addresses himself as Jonathan Groff.
That's true.
In the piece.
That's true. All right.
Okay, you look it up, but we'll keep talking.
Yeah, I'll look around.
Insert.
I really want to see it. It looks fabulous.
It was great. He really is spitting.
What a talent he is.
What a talent he is.
What a talent.
Yeah.
I forget. I was going to say something. Oh, the last time I was at this
Great
Circle
eye
of the
contact.
Square. The last I was looking at Russell behind you. The last time I was at Circle of the Square.
John Groff.
Groff.
Great
Jonathan Groff.
Oh.
I thought I looked at you and I was like, okay, we're going to
'Cause
observe everything.
I've
I
only
do
met
today.
him through people, and that kind of eye contact where you're like, wow,
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
there's
We're
I'm
like-
the only woman who exists in the world.
Yeah.
You know, like really warm Mennonite eye contact.
Yeah.
Like a really
I met him and
kind
I did
man.
not feel that. So, but maybe he didn't see me. Maybe he didn't. see
Maybe he
me.
was giving eye contact to someone else.
Yeah.
And thus they were the only.
Was this at Gutenberg?
Yeah.
So last time I was at Circle in the Square, I talked about it once, but I feel like you
Was
didn't
for
express
In
enough
Transit,
interest.
the a cappella musical starring Justin Guarini.
I remember that. I did not
My
see
God.
it.
I didn't either, but it's just fun to remember.
It was for a funeral of an acting teacher.
Oh.
The musical.
At Circle in the Square, what they got that booked?
Yeah, because he taught there.
It's a pretty good booking.
Yeah,
for a
really?
funeral. Wow.
Wait, was it on the set of a show that was?
No,
Because it would be
no,
funny.
thank
It's
if it
on
was
the
like-
25th annual Putnam County Spelling
Yeah,
Bee set.
truly. Or like Once on This Island.
Yeah.
There's like goats and sand.
Godspell. Godspell would work.
It was no, but it was very long because it was all actors, a lot of
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
And this teacher was a great teacher. No disrespect to him. There was no time limits, and it was like maybe 20 speakers, and every actor, they really wanted it to be their moment. And I swear,
20.
I swear to God, there were 8 in a 4-hour, 5-hour thing that started like this. I guess we're doing it, and I was like, we were doing it 2 hours ago.
Right. No more guessing required.
We're
At
in
this
it.
point, you know
We're
that
in the
we
middle.
have been doing it.
Each of them acted like this is their chance to be on a Broadway stage.
Well,
And it was, and
was.
it's just this thing where you start going, what is a funeral? Tovah got mad at me once because she was talking about a funeral being very moving, and I was like, and I was high, and I was like, it's theater. Funeral is theater.
Absolutely.
And
So are
to her
weddings.
mind, as someone who didn't grow up in the theater but grew up with religion, she felt like I was saying, theater is like a clown show if you think about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm saying funerals are like that. And I'm like, no, I'm saying theater is so everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in that moment, she was like, "You're belittling the funeral," and I said,
No,
"By all
I'm
means,
speaking
I'm
well
holding
of
up to the
theater."
highest."
Yeah.
I'm actually putting great respect on theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how I view it, and especially when you're doing a funeral on a Broadway stage,
and there's a lot
you're
of bad
going
theater.
like, "We need a dramaturg for this funeral," because it's not what is the goal here? I want to I would do a writer's session, be like, "So what's the goal with this funeral? What's the objective?"
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, what's in your mind? For me, a funeral is we all need to cry. Some of us can't. We all need to cry together and feel community within our sadness, and then maybe have a laugh at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
music.
Yeah.
Music, fun music, good music.
Yeah, but I think we got to get
collage.
one cry moment.
Yeah, one cry moment.
One cry moment.
One good
Absolutely.
speaker, and a good laugh, and then some music.
Yeah,
that's the
and like
criteria.
I've only been to, God, probably less than 10 funerals.
Bragging.
Yeah.
No one I know dies. Gianmarco.
Catholic funeral was the worst. Worst.
Oh, so
that was
boring.
like
Because
that was like
is it
we're
the
gonna,
most paint by numbers?
Yes,
It's like you have to
there's
do
no-
X, Y. There's no
Yes,
there's
creative
no
language.
There's no creative license. There's no feeling in it. It's like they're going by the book.
And there's old language that's like the one true God that sounds like
Yeah.
Games of Thronesian, and it is
Yeah.
because it's from that same era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like not that
Dragons.
other God, and I'm like, please, there's not. And then it's like it feels like the Catholic version is will be so boring that you won't feel anything by the end of this.
Yeah.
You'll just want it to be over. You'll go, oh my God, Grandma's actually in a better place
Yeah,
right
you'll
now.
envy. You'll have envy.
Yes. Jewish funeral. I don't know if I've ever been to a super Jewish funeral. And that's I had.
Can you hug at a funeral? Certainly, in that moment, you're not being sensuous or sensual.
Cut the Mickey Mouse question. Can you? Or what if it's at a funeral? No, hold it. Did we get back? Don't tell us what happened with Mickey Mouse.
I had to go off the AI. There's like no definitive answer though. Like even whatever. It just
There's
didn't come
not
up
been
with any-
studies done.
No, apparently not.
By the way, we're here joined with Josh Sharp,
yes.
comedian.
Yes, thank you.
He's been on before with his writing partner, but he's here solo today because he's doing a solo show now.
Yes.
Ta-da.
JoshSharpTada.com at the Greenwich House Theater now through All Tall Things Must Fall 9/11.
I went to a funeral in high school, I think a sophomore. There was a boy whose dad died. And it was shocking.
Yes,
It was
me
definitely,
too.
and I remember like, I didn't know his dad really well, but I wept and wept and wept. Like compared to, it just was one of those moments where you're like, oh, I'm more sensitive than some of my peers in the way that we're watching this.
I
and you
imagine-
guys are
Well, you're an actress. You're emotionally available.
I imagine
You know what I
the
mean?
kid looking over, being like, "Jesus Christ, man!"
Like, oh God, I gotta cry.
Oh,
Come on now.
God. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because especially with my dad, you're like, oh my God, I could have had this dad. I'd take this one in the
Yeah,
ground
yeah,
over
yeah.
this one behind me. My dad, when we went to this kid's house. I think we all did like something as a class, like the whole grade. We planted a tree, maybe.
When your dad passed? You're saying?
No, my dad's alive.
Okay, yeah, I thought
when
so.
When this guy's dad passed,
Yeah.
there was a class thing, and my dad, the kind of guy that he is, he goes up to this kid, and he's like, just gives him a big hug, in a way that you're like, I don't know if he wants that hug from you. Mm-hmm. And it was sensual.
This kid is wishing.
And he was an Orthodox Jewish woman.
Well, I was gonna say he's wishing he's she/her. He's wishing he's
wishing
very
she,
Jewish
her,
and
and
she/her
Orthodox.
in that moment.
And switch place.
God to be a conservative Jewess, he says to himself.
But yeah, that was that. You had a peer's parent die.
Yeah, in high school.
Did you go to the funeral?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it was like that's the first time you're like, oh, this person's parent. It's fucked up. Like a lot of us went, but I was pretty close to the person that died, so
With the parent.
No, sorry, the child.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Worst funeral, best funeral.
I actually feel like you that I haven't been to that many.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also less than 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be exponential as fuck.
I know.
It's so scary to think
such
about.
a bummer.
Especially when you have to start navigating. Like, I think about all the people whose shows I didn't see. Those are the funerals I'm definitely not going to be going to. And, like, you know, I have this thing with your show where I opened for it. I saw it once.
Yeah, where does that fall in the funeral? You sort of saw the work in progress, but not the...
Well,
not
that's
the
the question
Pinkelton
is
directed.
how much progress. That's what I brought you here today to say how much
better is the show?
How much better is the show?
This is a question for Mike and Carly and Sam Pinkelton, really. Say, what did you do?
It's like if you had a funeral and then you had a second funeral. I'm not going to the second funeral. No offense.
Understood.
That's what I should do as a funeral. I should make it like a recurring Broadway show.
Yeah, 8 shows a week.
I should have an opener for one night and then you'd see it.
Yeah.
So it is true that did give me. So should I see it again?
I do think it's rather different than what you saw, but should you see it? I mean, that's to you. But it's a different. It's the same shape, but we did really try to be more stunty, cunty, theatrical in a way that was fun. Because I really, I mean, you know, the whole concept, even when I was doing it alone, was just like
tell people at home.
I'm doing sort of the canonical, like 80-minute, you know, thematic stand-up set that's often given the theatrical treatment. But I think it's really important to me to be like, I want you to see how hard I worked. So it's inside of this 2,000 slide PowerPoint that I've memorized all the cues for. So we sort of like took that as an assignment to be like, how do we make it clear that it's like, we put a lot into this for you, you know, it's not just, and I'm not even dismissing those other types of shows because I actually do love them, of just like, I'm just doing stand up in a theater and it's got narrative and it's got purpose and it's got weight. But for this one, we were sort of like, how do we sort of blow it out in a way that you feel like you're seeing a theater thing, even though it is intrinsically just sort of me with a clicker?
Yeah. And did you think like, okay, if someone were to say to me like PowerPoint comedy, I think about a very specific kind of comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like many things in comedy, I joined right at the death rattle of it.
Yes.
And I got booked to do, I made a PowerPoint analyzing like a music video. I think it was a Spice Girls music video. And I fucking put in the work.
Yeah.
And I showed up and there were 4 people at the show. And it truly was one of these moments I said, I will never do this amount of work for a show again.
I know.
But there was an era, I really think of a partner in Charla's Netflix 30. She had like a PowerPoint. Mm-hmm. So there was a time when, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like you were deeper in the comedy scene at this era. But it felt like an ironic. We all grew up with PowerPoint. Mm-hmm. We all had experiences with animation and sounds, mm-hmm. and there was a nostalgia to it with comedic possibility.
Yes.
What made you want to revisit that and elevate it? Because I saw it and it truly is, if the sheer number alone of the slides, you really play with the form.
I think this is true, and some of it was almost like dumbing it down in a way, because it's almost entirely text, and a lot of times it's just like the words I'm saying coming up behind me. So I like the party trick of like, can you believe I memorized this?
Yeah.
And thus sometimes I like highlighting for you like, I chose this phrase intentionally. And then the push-pull of stand-up of being like sort of trying to play it like it's off the cuff, but then getting to prove to you like it's not. Like that magic trick is fun to me.
Yes.
That's where it started. And just like 2 things at once. I think it became a little bit of a critique without realizing it on second screen viewing. That we're like, we've wired our brains to like watch one thing while we watch another.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's the actual like active way that I was like, you can sort of like watch me and do this.
Yeah.
So then it started to become that it like went down a rabbit hole where I was like, well, then I like the idea that I can say one thing and it can comment on me.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. And also that I can fill in gaps in speech. Now, I was just like getting laughs out of bits that I was already doing in stand up and being like, oh, there's laughs that weren't there when I was just doing it alone. Mm-hmm. Where I can like shoot you a look and fill it in.
Yeah.
And this sounds unwell to say, but I truly treat it like it's a percussion instrument. I'm just like playing this like it's like, comedy to me is noise. It's just like the funniest noise, and hopefully there's context and meaning, but it's really like I'm just making funny noise, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this became a thing rhythmic where I was like, there's just rhythms that I want to highlight for you.
Yeah.
And then as it turned into, because for a while it was just like I did it as a 10-minute bit, a 20-minute bit, and a 30-minute bit, and then was like, wait, maybe there's a show. And then when some of the more storytelling pieces came in, I was like, oh, actually as a device of like storytelling, it's interesting to me that I can both highlight certain like phrases that I'm saying again and again.
Yeah.
Or play with this idea of like I'm telling you one thing and like giving you other pieces of information behind me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did feel like it took many years and then the input of other people to really make it not feel like I was just doing PowerPoint comedy.
You know what it makes me think though? It's like after I see like Fleabag, it was like, well, I guess talking to the camera's over for a bit.
Like, you think I'm killing PowerPoint comedy? Maybe?
I think if I saw that, no, in a way you're taking it to its limits. To go beyond it would be to do something other than it. But like Fleabag, like there was a degree of like you, and I'm sure that maybe I'm wrong. She wasn't necessarily the first to do it, but like when the priest realizes she's speaking to the camera, you're like, well, there's nothing better than that.
It's true.
Even by the time Game of Thrones happened, no. What's the House of Cards?
Yeah.
We were like, no, it's already kind of like, you know what I mean? When you did that,
yeah.
Maybe you're right, and maybe without recognizing it, I was coming in like a waning PowerPoint comedy where it no longer feels like I'm doing a thing in the zeitgeist. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I wasn't thinking about that, but you're perhaps right that it sort of like feels better to do now than 8 years ago.
Sure.
And is again like very lo-fi. There's like 3 pictures, but other than that, it's just text in the same font. Mm-hmm. That it was not like, oh, there's a lot of graphics and info, and I was like, how do we make it sort of weirdly 2 strains of digestible information that you can take in at the same time?
So, I don't want to get like. Sometimes it's one of those things where I'm like, there's certain stories that you talk about in your show that I'd love to talk about, but at the same time, I don't want you to feel you're A, giving it away, or B.
I think go for it.
But are you going to be okay without the slides behind you?
Let's try it. I had that question too, because there is a little bit of like a shell game where I've like hidden parts of the show from you. And then I did like WNYC, and she was like, this show where Josh talks about his mother's death and a near death, like said every single thing in that. And I was like, I guess it really doesn't matter, because even when you know those things, I don't think you expect that the show talks about them in the way that it does.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. I don't go into any show going like, I wonder what happened with their mom.
Yeah,
dead, we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your mom passed away when you were how old?
I was 22. Yeah. Or 23. 2010.
Yeah.
My brothers were younger. They were like 18 and 15. I'm the oldest.
Sometimes I think about, I always go to the question of what's the worst age. I saw like divorce at different ages. Mm-hmm. I saw, and my siblings, I got to watch 3 of them experience divorce at completely different ages. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I'm like, I don't know what's the best, what's the worst.
No, I don't either.
Is it best you're going right off to college? Is it best you're already an adult in the world? Is it, I don't know. So you were, what did you say, 22?
Just moved to New York.
You just moved to New York?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And where was your family?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, where?
In this little town in the foothills of the mountains, like down the mountain from Asheville. So I grew up like in the boonies a little bit. In a town that's now rather cool. I actually liked it when I was growing up there, even though it was just like 9,000 people, like rural as hell. Mm-hmm. I was like, I didn't have the like full like Springsteen, like let's drive until tomorrow and get out of this town.
Yeah.
And then like went to college at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and was like, wait, this is so much better. And then like moved to New York and was like, wait, this is so like at each stage I wasn't really fully discontented.
Was it conservative? I guess it
was conservative. Yeah. But it's less so now. It's like, or I should say, the county is still decidedly conservative, but the town has become a little cool, where like a cool brewery moved in like 10 years ago. There's like it's interesting to see how it's changed. Mm-hmm. We used to have to like drive 30 minutes to go to the movies. Like we didn't have a movie theater, like one of those.
Yeah. So you had just moved to New York. When something that momentous happens in your life, did it feel like, fuck, I should go back home? Were you almost happy to like start to...
I remember I was teaching special ed at the time, which I did for the first 3 years of living in New York. I was working in schools, and for 2 of them I was teaching in a school for like kids with profound disabilities. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when my mom was really sick, just to give this part away, but I don't mind that you know it, like sort of in her last year of her life, she had this weird like miracle cure moment where she was like very sick and then became very healthy again for like a year and then passed away. And in that year, she like sort of decided to like gently bully me out of the closet, because I'd like come out to like one friend and moved to New York thinking I would come out, but then sort of like got shy. I think because I was working in schools and I was just not me.
So can you tell me, so when you moved to New York, in your mind you said, I'm gay?
Yes, and I told like 1 or 2 friends and was like prepared to come out because it felt so like clean, fresh start kind of vibes.
Yeah, like you meet people, I'm Josh and I'm
I just
gay.
Like couldn't do it. Yeah. And then my mom sort of like truly in this period, like,
what was it about school? What was it about? I mean, was it self-imposed?
I think the idea of when I was 22 and still, I think not fully, again, clearly, like, hadn't fully figured out my sense of self.
Yeah.
I like showed up and was working at a middle school in East Harlem. And I was like, I can't tell these 11-year-olds I'm gay.
I mean,
like,
sure.
I truly was like, they're going to bully me and I'm not ready for it.
For sure. I mean, kids, like, I remember.
And I know I didn't think I needed to move up and they needed to be the first people I told. But I think I still was like, in my head, it was like, you can move to New York and it's like free reign to tell everybody. And then I think I was hit with like, wait, how that is in practice. It's like, I'm going to be the gay guy at this middle school in East Harlem.
For some reason I wasn't ready. So much worse. The kids, like, having the kids, they all know, like, we all remember the gay teachers and things like that. And especially if you're in a certain area, like, there is, like, if you're new to it, I feel like that would be worse than just coming out. And really, it's middle school,
more than even the East Harlem of it all.
Yeah.
Like, truly, I just think the middle schoolers in frickin' Park Slope, I also would have, like, it really, I just was, like, not ready to come out to a classroom of middle schoolers.
Yeah. Sure, it's also, like, the degree of, like, if you had a boyfriend or a husband, it's one thing to introduce someone to someone. It's also another to be like, hey, kids, my sexual preference is...
Which was also what, weirdly looking back, like, kept me in the closet in college. Because I also thought I would come out in college, but I thought I would meet someone and then it would make sense to come out. Which is, like, sort of a self-defeating prophecy.
Yeah.
It's like, when you're not out, you don't ultimately meet anyone in the way that will lead to you having a partner. Or I guess it can happen for some people, because I had like 2 Craigslist moments in college.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Like, you met people on Craigslist.
Because this was like pre-Grindr.
What was the listing?
Well, there used to be just like M for M, where people would just sort of post like personal... It was like very Grindr, but on a website. I mean, I guess that's Sniffies now.
Were there pictures?
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes it would just be like stats. And then you would respond and it would get like, go to like a third party email, like how Craigslist works, where it's like you'd sort of like get to swap without sharing information. And then.
And did you meet a nice guy?
Actually, yes.
Really?
The first time was someone I've kept up with who was like lovely.
Oh.
Well, we were at the same school too. So but neither was out. And then definitely had a period where we like didn't like acknowledge each other. And then later on as adults.
Did you have a chance when you first like hooked up? Did you talk about like both not coming out or wanting to come out, or like...
I don't remember that part. I remember us like it feeling as good as it could for that type of thing, but then I remember also like seeing him on campus and him like averting eyes in a way where I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna pretend we don't know each other.
Yeah.
Which understandable,
Yeah. I remember I had a good friend. I remember freshman year he came out, where I was from, it was, I guess I'd been to so many musical theater camps where like so many people were out, like just in a big way.
And I make this joke in the show where I keep saying I didn't come out to 22 and be like, in my defense, it's the pre-Glee era. And that's like a joke to me because it's like, of course, gay people in media existed before that. Like, famously. I mean, less so and not always positively, but famously.
Sure.
But I did go to high school at a time when there was not an out gay person at my high school.
Yeah.
And then that culture shifted quickly. Like, by the time my brother, who was like 7 years younger, was in the same high school, he knew like gay kids. So it was like that like happened very...
Yeah.
Some of the like social media and how it like helped coming out culture for younger people did like, I feel like shift. I'm painting with a broad stroke, but I feel like it did shift pretty quickly.
Good. You think it's still... I worry, again, with America, the way that it is, like,
I
hope it still feels that way. We'll go to high school, like, where are all the gay kids at this high school?
I would, and also I just wasn't tapped into theater. Like, I was in such church stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I found people who like loved me and accepted me. Like, LOL, of course, church. But like, and so I felt very down to like be the person I was, other than that part. And honestly,
interesting. Okay, so
honestly,
I
was probably in a corner of church stuff. I could have come out to them, but didn't.
But you're saying like you were an unusual kid, or like you just like, what do you mean when church they embraced who you were other than?
I felt like in high school I was a little bit of a social drifter. I was like funny, and so everybody liked me, but didn't have... What I should say is I got really into church stuff not at my church. It was at like the Presbytery of Western North Carolina leadership conferences. Oh. So I used to go to all these like church camps and like play music, like play piano. And everyone else I would be working with, I was like 15, 16, would be seminary students who were like 23, 24, 25, like incredibly intelligent, like religious people, but who were in seminary being like, you know, it's cool to question your faith. And like, here's all. And so was just like the 16-year-old hanging out with them and thought they were so like smart and funny and interesting. And they saw me as smart and funny and interesting. And I was like, this rules. So I fully thought I was going to be a youth pastor because I was just like with all of these intelligent 24-year-olds who were all like skewed probably pretty liberal really looking back, but I just like I felt very validated as far as being like, oh, I'm like smart and funny, right? Like I'm
were
interesting.
Any of them open about sexual, I mean, being gay, or do you think it was like... I don't really have
memories of that, but if they were, I was not picking up on it because I was probably not ready to like hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
So weirdly, I got sucked into that and was like, this rules.
What with your mom and her kind of wanting you to, because I joke about it to a degree, but my mom did suspect that I was gay, and like I think in a love, it wasn't fully, but it's something. She always was like, there's something, is it maybe? And she always would be like, she said to me several times, you can tell me. And was your mom like that? Did she always know?
Not growing up, but I think really because my parents were just like didn't have the thing that some people have now, even in those rural spaces, to like make sure your kid knows they have to. Again, we just like didn't know gay people, and so that has changed. I think definitely for them.
Was there anyone super like in your in my middle school, which was not the most liberal. I was a very liberal high school, but we had someone in my middle school who was openly gay, and he was one of the homeroom teachers, and he was like a beloved teacher. And I really look back and I go like, that, if anything, pre-Glee normalized like a gay adult in a way that's and he even made a joke because again I was a flamboyant kid. And he was the funny teacher. And looking back, I'm sure he was like 26 or some crazy shit. But I was dancing before a class, like doing some jig. And he said, Gianmarco, I'm gay. Or he said, Gianmarco, I have a boyfriend, but that's the gayest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's just like, I more look back and I hear other people's stories of their childhoods. And I go like, that's crazy that we had this openness. And I'm sure everyone in my grade, I bet you it was normalized to them, or they understood.
You're right. There is a butterfly effect because it's like, again, I think like one gay person in my town, and probably all of this changes.
That's why they're so anti-gay teachers, because they know
exactly,
that if you have anyone that you like or respect, Did you have anyone growing up like...
We had 3 gay teachers in middle school, high school, and they were all different too. Like they were, I mean, like in the
gay people have all sorts of different
like
traits.
Very different. But there wasn't like a hero. There wasn't like
hairdressers, right? These teachers.
They were
substitute teachers.
They all taught home ec.
Big home ec program.
No. But we had 3, and we had I think 1 or 2 out students. Like
really,
like yeah. But and even older than me, like one was 2 years older. He was like, I remember being in 6th grade. He was in 8th grade. He was very like out and confident, and like because he was so confident, it felt like I don't remember him getting made fun of a lot.
A friend told me, who was at my show recently, that she was like, I loved your show. I have to tell you, I made friends with the person sitting next to me. They were a 15-year-old gay kid who'd come to the show alone with a giant Louis Vuitton bag that had 3 tiny objects in it, like swimming in this massive bag. And they told me they'd gone to I forget what store, and bought like a Tom Ford dupe that day of a cologne or a perfume, and was like, do you want me to spray you? And she was like, no, like not in this theater. But she was like, I was so obsessed with this kid.
Yeah.
And it is incredible to know that they exist.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like so proud of these little 15-year-olds with giant Louis Vuitton bags going to my show alone. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
When you go like, this confident kid, I'm like, yeah, I bet they did. It's like, imagine the confidence it requires to be that at 15.
Yeah.
I had a high school memory. I don't think I've ever talked about it. Senior year, they gave you like 2 weeks off of classes, and you could do like a project, and like it was a cool high school, And so, for example, the year before us, this one kid with 2 other guys, they slept in a box for a week, and they documented, living in this box. Or someone else would make one of those what are those things that like this hits this a domino effect thing.
Yeah. Rube Goldberg.
A Rube Goldberg, it could be anything. You could write a song, you could do a theater piece. And I definitely was like, I was not in I had no good ideas, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and it was a tough relationship. But we tried to do some kind of weird psychological
Where you were gay for 2 weeks? Oh no, this is really how it's going.
Josh.
This is incredible.
Oh my
so
God,
part of it
Gianmarco.
was how does and I really I don't even remember all the details of it, but it was are you treated in public based on you inhabit different things? So for example, she was she put a fake belly on, and I'm pretty sure it looked real, and it was how do people treat you differently when you're pregnant?
Wait.
Now I am not sure whether I chose, I'm really honestly nervous as I say it, I'm not sure if I chose just hyper flamboyant or if I said gay. But I definitely, either way, it was the same. And
to be clear, you still are in that experiment?
I think this.
And I remember we'd be in public, and it basically what we then talked about our experience. How did people treat us? And I'm pretty sure, I cannot believe I have not thought about this. I was hello,
Wait,
me.
I think what's even sadder is
There's nothing sad about it.
No,
it's
no,
a beautiful.
Let me tell you, because I have not said this on this podcast either. Is that
You come out right now?
I tried to do a project in English class in high school. There was that book, Black Like Me.
I was about to say,
I
this is
submitted
that.
Fat Like Me as a joke parody video, and the teacher was like, no. You can't do that. But it's exactly what you're describing, but mine was called Fat Like Me, and it was supposed to be the experience of, and it was all jokes, and it was mean jokes. It was all fat jokes.
And can I ask, at the time, were you a fat person as a teen? Okay, just was checking.
Yes, no. I was so skinny. No,
just was checking.
No.
Are you still doing the experiment?
Oh man,
this is incredible.
Crazy that we both tried to do we both read Black Like Me, and we're like, hey, how can we make this?
That's incredible. Well, but what is true about it is, I mean, God, this could be we could really chase this thread forever. But flamboyance as a concept that is often found in gay communities, of course, because oftentimes we are sort of not ascribing to gender roles in the same way.
Yes.
But it isn't actually about gayness, flamboyance.
It's not.
And so we need to let straight men be flamboyant more often.
Well, I'll tell you what I said in this. We presented this at some point, and my girlfriend and I at the time were not in a good place, and I commented.
We get it.
When I told her hey, so I'm gonna pretend to be gay for a week. What do you think about that? But I remember saying, and it was pointed, it was a very passive aggressive thing where I said, I noticed that I felt as people were annoyed by my flamboyance, it made me want to be even more flamboyant and annoying. And in my way, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, you see, when you think I'm annoying, it makes me want to be more annoying.
Yeah.
So you're the one who's causing this.
Baby, one day I'll be a crowdwork comedian, you said to her.
Yeah.
I said, you keep annoying me, I'm just going to suck a dick right in this train. So
that is so.
That's
to
crazy.
See this connectivity between you two.
Wow.
And do you have memories of what?
And then my mom was like, are you gay? And I'm like, Mom, I'm just acting for 2 weeks for a project.
And to circle back to your question, but really I want to talk about this more. It's when my mom did that in this weird period of being about to die and then not about to die again, it was a much more broad thing where she was just doing this with everyone in ways of being we're going to talk about faith, and we're going to talk about pop, anything that we didn't really talk about. She was just we're going in. But she did it very lovingly and gracefully. But every single person in that period has this sort of oh, she was I really want to do this. Was she the kind of
person was she someone who's I see things other people don't. I want was she someone who along the way, it sounds like someone who wants to be let me help you get to this moment before I go.
Yes.
But she was like someone who's
and
like,
with
I
mine,
know.
it was very pointed. And this is a story I tell, and so I won't do the whole thing. But after I came out, she told me, she was like, God told me 5 years before, and she has this really lovely but funny story about when God appeared to her and basically was like, hey, your son's gay.
Oh my God.
That's how she in a dream.
When she first got cancer, because she had cancer and went to remission, and it came back and things looked really bad, and then because of this sort of like weird clerical accident with a trial drug, she had this miraculous year where she was just fully better again, and that was sort of this like weird transformative year. So the first time she had cancer, she was like in her first surgery. She says that when she was going under an anesthesia, God appeared to her and they talked, and the one thing God said to her was, your son's gay.
Oh my God.
So she'd been sitting on this for years, as she says.
Now let me ask you.
I do think it was like not like her only mission. Like there was a lot of 4D chess going on. There was things she said to me that like years later I brought up to someone, like to my dad or brothers. Like, and I also remember that period. My mom told me like this, and they would be like, she didn't say that to me, and I'd be like, oh my God, she truly was planting. Like in 5 years, you'll tell my dad that I hope she. Like she said to me, she was like, I really hope your father dates again, and like. I said to Dad, like, she must have had that conversation with you. He was like, no. And it like took years for me to have that conversation with my dad, and it like got to him at a time he could actually hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she was
Maybe
doing
she
a lot
wanted
of
to date again, but wait 3 years
Exactly.
until she gave it to you.
Yeah.
She was doing a lot of that sort of like, let's like hash out stuff while I'm here.
I just realized as I touched my ear that I was like, oh yeah.
Again, for you to tell me your story of Faye like me, where with the 1 year out. I want to still circle back to, do you remember what your conclusions were? And also I want to know do you know what you got graded on this project? Do you remember doing well?
It was not like an 8. I don't even know if we got a formal grade.
But
I'm remembering we had a senior project too, but it wasn't a like take 2 weeks off and do
straight?
something. No, I don't actually remember it was like basically like a thing you did outside of school that you wanted to dedicate the year to. But it must have been pretty broad because I learned to play the church organ.
wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I used to meet our church organist like twice because I played piano. And you also use your feet for that and pull all the stops.
Is it fun? Is it like
I remember the time being like, this is fun. I didn't want to like do it past that, but it is wild to sort of like do 4 at once.
Yeah.
And have you ever watched like videos of people playing these like ancient old church organs that are like, you get why people believe in God, because they reverberate. They are like a celestial sound, and they can just cover so many octaves. Like those pipes that are so huge that like truly like you're at the club, like rumble your bass.
Yeah. I took piano lessons for a little bit, and then the woman tried to start teaching me how to play organ, and that's not really what I had signed up for. And she was kind of crazy. I don't really remember much about her, but I remember feeling like I'm with a crazy person, like as a kid, being like, this person's crazy. And I remember she had really fat feet, and she always had open
fat feet like me.
Open toe shoes. Her feet were always out, and in my mind, I remember being like, "Oh, she can't find shoes that contain them." Like so, and she really was like pushing the organ, and like I kept going back to my parents, being like, "I really don't go to church, so I don't want to play the organ, you know." And she's forcing me to play the organ, and I feel like I haven't mastered piano yet, so it's a big leap.
Maybe we start with the arms before we add the feet.
They let me quit, basically. But
I loved my piano teacher. Actually, I should play back. I should reach out to her because she'll DM me sometimes. And her name was Miss Marnie, and she, more than anyone, I bet there are many moments I don't have memory of where she was the most like, you can be gay, because she like loved musical theater and did community, like drove 3 cities over to do community theater, and was like probably the most like actually trying in a way that I bet I was just like not ready for.
Now
I bet if I was like, do you remember, were you ever trying to like help me come out of the closet? She probably has a list of like things she did that I missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When your mom says God told me, do you believe in God?
I don't, but I don't not anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, I do. Do you think your mom do you think your mom intuited that? That over years? Do you think there was a moment? Do you think there ever was a thing that she saw?
I think both. It's like I do think she intuited it over many years, and probably for her needed that moment of like literal divine intervention to be like yes to this thing. And well, because what she says God told her, and she's like, this is the only thing he said, is your son is gay and it's all going to be fine. And she told me, she was like, and I knew that by it's all going to be fine, he didn't just mean you, he meant all of it. That like what I'm going through right now, that he was like,
what
saying,
if he got more detailed? God was like, your son is gay, and he met this guy on Craigslist.
Yeah, literally.
And
watch
let
out.
me tell you what.
Actually, he hasn't yet, but he's going to. But don't deny him of that. He'll put it in a solo show one day.
God came back and told her the whole plot of Dicks the musical, and she was like, "Oh my god,
oh my god."
40 Chess, God was
that
like,
has nothing to do with the Parent Trap.
Your son's gay, but don't help him come out for 4 years. He needs these closeted years to build his Greenwich House Theater show.
When you, so she got you, do you go, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
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 Did it feel emotional? Or did it feel like, oh, finally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I was so ready to do it. Clearly, I'd like sort of like told myself I was going to do it several times.
Did you have a lot of secondary people in your life to come out to after that?
Well, yes. And what's also funny is like my college crew, there was like a group of like 8 of us that lived together in different configurations, and for 2 years like in the same big house, like 5 he hims, 3 she hers, every one of them gay now, you know what I mean? It's like, and no, only one was out at the time, you know what I mean? But like at like truly like dominoes, we've sort of all come out of the closet.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just sometimes think about...
So there was a sort of passing around of coming out for a while where we all sort of took turns coming out to each other back and forth over like the couple of years past college.
There's occasionally, like when someone goes through a breakup on the internet, they'll do, the Instagram private stories reveal, and then sometimes they'll make it more public. And I just think about the struggle to disseminate information.
Well, I do think weirdly that was one of the things keeping me from doing it, was like the update your Rolodex of it all. Like the idea of like... And then I think I had to just get over that. It's like you just have to tell a few people, and you have to tell them you're allowed to tell everyone. I think for some reason I felt like there was this responsibility, because I do think a part of me still just felt like people would feel like I had lied to them, which I know no one feels. But that was like a burden I put on myself, was like, I have to almost do this apologetically. I have to be like, I know I could have told you before now, but I didn't, and I'm sorry I lied to you.
Yeah. But let me tell you,
And so I think I had to get over that and realize like, oh, no one needs like the one-on-one. None of my people need that. Like, you just need to tell them and be like, and tell everybody and rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one, I had a friend in high school who was just like, he was gay, and he like didn't come out, and I have no idea where he is, and honestly, I keep going. I always tell myself, I'm like, I need to just check. I want to know if he did, because if not, I'm ready to go. And I go, hey.
There was, without getting into the details of it, but like one I remember just like flamboyant kid in high school who was still was also not out of the closet, but like everybody knew, and I don't remember them being treated that well. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
And I think probably that was a part of me that was like, oh no, then I can't do this.
Yeah.
But I checked in on them recently because someone from high school came to the show like last week and was like, how is, and asked, and they were like, they're so great. They've transitioned, and they were showing me pictures, and they are the like cuntiest, most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Yeah. And I really was like, felt such a deep, and I haven't seen them in a while, but I'd seen them like since then, but it's been probably like 10 years, but felt such a deep sort of like I love this person. Mm-hmm. Like with every fiber of my being, and was like very like, you have to tell her next time she's in New York, like, we are going out and it's on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I felt such a like, thank God for you.
I felt,
even though I didn't have the journey you had, and and nor did she. It's like she who was a at that time a really gay little boy was like also not out.
I had such the opposite. I did a show in DC, and this guy from my high school, who I wasn't friends with by any means, nor enemies, but he was more jockey, and he like dated 2 women that were like gorgeous in high school, and like, would never give me time of day. And he comes, and he was also a very good looking guy, of course, and he comes to this thing, and he's like, this is my boyfriend so and so, and I had to just, but part of me wanted to be like, no way, are you fucking serious? And then he was like, yeah, I'm doing some community theater, and I was like, I just politely I go, oh, and I wanted to be like, no fucking way, really? You, not me? That's insane. And you never, was that singing?
Yeah, didn't it sound like singing was coming from your hallway?
I did a fucking self tape today. And I did it with an audition coach, and it's like, listen,
Did you have to sing?
No, but I teared up in the middle, and I haven't felt like I've done good acting in now maybe a decade. And I had this one moment of, oh my god, maybe it's still there. Maybe that spark is still there.
Someone made a noise.
No, I go to get the camera. This is the framing.
Oh no.
It's eyes only.
A little bit of mouth.
Oh.
I fucked up the framing. I scooted too far forward in my chair.
Oh, Gianmarco.
And then I got another take, and there's like a buzzing outside on the fucking street.
Oh.
And when you have a fucking tape, and there's just there's me. I go. Oh, we can't do this then. I can't do this where I live.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I hate self tapes. Sorry.
I do too. I won't do them. meaning I. For my own mental health, I'm like, I cannot have any part of my home be dedicated to this thing. I need this to be where I live. So I always go to my agent's office and do it there.
It's smart.
Because I need to feel like I'm still going in for an audition. So it's like I just use their little studio there, and an assistant helps me. And then and we fire one off, and I look it back in like 1-inch framing on the thing, and I go, looks fine. I also need some of the clerical to not be my job. Like I need to not be the one uploading it.
I know.
Or else I have such loathing towards the process that I can't even do the thing.
So I'll tell you what I do now though, because I'm my ADD. If I don't have clear sight lines, I go crazy. And today I did it with. I think the reason I cried, ironically, was there was an onion on a little like fruit stand we have, and that was the head of the person. And I was like, I need this.
An actual onion?
There's just an onion there. Maybe that's why I cried.
I was gonna say
you were supposed to cry.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like a fun comedy, and I'm like.
I thought originally you were telling a story that you were so upset that your framing was bad.
No,
you were crying. Okay.
It was nice. Ted Silbermann, good audition coach.
Yeah.
I've never heard this name, but I'll have to look him up. And wait, so he didn't do the self tape with you? He just got you.
No, we just talked through it enough. Like
just saying, Ted wasn't to blame for the framing.
Listen, I'm brutal. Chris Cafera helps me with auditions. Ted Silbermann helps me with auditions. And the way that I come to every audition, I start going like, I don't really know what acting is. I don't know what this is, and I studied it, and I don't even think that it's a real thing anymore. It starts. Every audition starts from the most deep existential place.
Lately, because I'm doing treading the boards. It just it does make you go like, oh god, acting is real.
Doing that show, stand-up makes me I think stand-up makes me feel, oh, this is all that's real. Any pretending I'm anyone else is insane.
Well, I guess what I mean is the part where, even though yes, it's like I am me telling you stories, I'm like having to make myself emotionally available. Like I'm sort of like getting teary or crying most nights doing some parts of this.
Sure.
And it's both real, but also it's like not acting, but it's that part of acting where you're like, I have to just make myself available so that I can feel this real thing. And thus I am. And it's a lot easier when I'm like talking about my dead mother, but it still is like, when you do it every night, you desensitize it. So it's like, how do you as an actress sort of like keep yourself available to these feelings?
That made me cry. I mean, it was this guy talking about his grandma or his grandma, and I visualized just my dad. It's just your dad dying. It's like, there's a small orbit of people that'll make me cry if I visualize really quick.
Well, again, it's like, so I am sort of talking about my mother dying and visualizing her dying. But it's still, even though that is real, to do it every night does make you feel like I'm actress. I am actress. I am actress.
I'm actress.
Does it ever feel weird of like...
If you're hearing this song, it means we cut something out. Probably Russell being racist. Shh.
So no one will ever know what was just said. Mm-hmm. But my question is... Does it ever feel like you are corrupting the authentic revisiting of your mom and losing her by having to force it sometimes, encourage it, stoke it, alter it every time?
This is what's interesting about it to me is, one, I've put the pressure off on it happening every time. So it's like I'm mostly just trying to make myself available to feel how I feel when I tell the story. So it doesn't feel inauthentic because there are some nights where I don't get teary and I can still tell this story effectively. And then many nights that I do. So I've decided like that's not the goal, but I like to be just like emotionally available in how I tell this. But I also think part of it is just, one, I'm only doing a 10-week run. And so I wonder what that would be like if I was trying to do this show for 2 years, which I'm not. And then the other thing is, I've realized in doing it that I was like, I think part of this stupid gimmick where I've memorized all these cues, a thing that is sort of like actually very difficult for my brain, even having done it so many times, is I have to be like immensely present. I can't like zone out for a single second.
You've created a Meisner exercise
literally
within your own PowerPoint.
I know. I that in this run clocked me where I was like, oh, I've sort of created this show I can't not sort of be like fully focused doing.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel dread before you, when I...
So I don't yet... I totally get that question and I've thought about it, but I don't feel it. But I wonder if after 10 weeks, I'm going to be like, I have to not tell this story.
There's also a physical thing that happens when you are doing a run where your body feels like, oh, this is what I'm going into. And it almost like takes over, like there's a physical thing that happens that you're programming your body to feel a certain way and to do I feel
that's the part that, having not done one of these types of runs before, I didn't realize how much the like physical conditioning is a thing. My body was like tweaking for the first 3 weeks, like doing all sorts of weird shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Both on and off stage. Mm-hmm. I would like do some of the early previews and would ask people like, did you see this? And they'd be like, no, because it's just a thing I'm feeling. There's nights where I was like feeling lockjaw. I was like, I feel like I'm like fucking licking my teeth like I just did Molly. Yeah. And people were like, no, you were fine. But I was like, it's crazy how my face feels. Because the body is just being like, what are you doing to me?
Yes.
And I don't really get nervous. And so it's not that I would get nervous, but clearly some sort of like adrenaline nerve response was happening in a way I hadn't felt, where it was just like, I'd be about to go on and I would get these like weird like tingles and be like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But it's your body being like, don't do this again. Please stop. Please don't do. You did this last night and the night before and the night before.
Yeah.
Stop.
Do you have two?
Do you want to know something?
Do you do twos?
Yeah.
Which ones? Which days?
Saturday we do a 5 and an 8.
Okay.
Another sort of fucked up thing. This is so in the weeds, like actress coded. But one of the early previews, I think because I didn't clock how like physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted I was, and then also there'd been stuff that had happened at 2 of the previews that isn't even worth mentioning, but like 2 that were like sort of volatile, not even bad, but like shit that had happened that like 48 hours had been sort of wild. Yeah. And then I think also the 3-4 weeks of putting it together were catching up to me. And I got on stage and started to like black out like I was going to faint. And truly just in that moment, I think because I was out of it, didn't even know what to do. Like didn't even know how to like be like, by the way, I'm going to faint. What do I do?
Sure.
So I just was like, it happened like 5 minutes into the show that I started to like see the like edges come in.
Wow.
And I truly just went, just say the next line. And I did that the whole show. And I was like, the edges were sort of there, and I just kept just going like, just do the next line.
There was
and
one time,
it was like the most fucked up lessons in presence, where it's just like you just have to do the next line.
Yeah.
But I truly was like and afterwards they were like, that was a good show. It was sort of more tender. You know, you missed some of your marks, and I was like, you mean the part where I leaned against the wall for 5 minutes and did a bit? And they were like, yeah. I was like, dude, I thought I was gonna faint. Like I had to like sit down for a while.
I had once I was on stage and I will sometimes pick up the mic stand and like hit it on the floor. And I did it on my big toe. And like the pain, I did 10 more minutes of stand up where in my head I was like, I think it's broken. It's broken. It's broken. Oh my God. And I'm hearing myself say it and just having a full out of body, but I gotta keep going forward. And it's it's awful. That's the one man curse. That's the tough part of a one-person thing.
Also, unfortunately, because this is not by design, but because I have a giant screen and I'm incredibly backlit, I can see the face of every single person in the theater.
Yes.
And so I've really had to learn how to, because like I don't
tell Russell. Russell always looks at the audience.
I was having mental breakdowns and I was like,
I'm just sort of having the mental breakdowns because I don't want to just entirely do the show to the middle distance. I think there's like a witchcraft to me, like looking them in the eyes.
I know.
But I'm having to do that without totally, like part of it is I'm finding the people who are really fucking with the show and like making sure I'm like getting energy from them, but sometimes I'm looking at people who I'm like I just have to sort of like,
that's the thing is
it's wild.
A problem of mine is I will zero in on the people having a thing and I get in full fights in my head with them.
I was having that and I'm like having to learn
going
how
home being like, I know who you are, you fucking pretentious fuck. Like I'm getting in full fights. I'm filling in all the gaps of their lives and why they're miserable and why would you come to a show? Why 2 minutes in are you already miserable, you fucking cunt? Like I'm doing this whole thing. And so I'm like, I was going crazy with this. And I'm like, the last week I've been working so hard to be like, no, you know when people are having a good time, let's just find them and try to like do that.
I don't know if you're having this. The other side that I had to learn, and I've actually been on the other side of this I don't.
People don't know their faces.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't know if this person wanted me to tell the story, so I'm not going to give details. Yeah. But someone who was in one of these shows who had one of these things, I went with them to like watch the show after they went out of it, and we went to a matinee because they were like, I needed to sit next to people who and feel them liking the show while they weren't like fucking roaring about it.
Yeah.
And so I took that in where I was like, also, and now I've spotted it that sometimes people who I think like this old man hates me. 72 minutes into the show will be like weeping or like a joke like fucking 2/3 in he'll be doubled over laughing, and I have to remember like some of them are just like,
and I tell that to Russell, I tell you that
I need to not write the narrative like you're doing. I need to like just be like I go in being like, I'm assuming you all love this, you're just expressing it in different ways, and then I can sort of look you in the eyes and not be bothered. But I'm having to sort of blur it a little bit.
Before we go to this has got to stop, I do want to talk briefly about your child magician days.
Oh yeah, did you have one of those?
I had a summer camp that had like a weirdly 3 like professional magicians there, and it was so cool. And so I had like 1 year. I got the first 2 Tarbell books.
Do you know what's big for me was The Masked Magician on Fox?
Of course.
I was like 4th grade. Cool. I was obsessed. Then I got really into
Tell me
like
what
magic.
The Masked Magician, because
this guy did a show on Fox that I feel like was popular. Like it ran for several seasons. It was popular,
but it was also like you heard the magicians are bad.
Yes. He was masked and he would do the big illusions like the Copperfield, like make a fucking elephant disappear, or the classic like saw a woman in half, and he would show you how they would do it. He was like, I'm breaking the magician's code, and so he'd do the trick and then show you.
It was so cool.
So then for a while, because my grandparents lived in Marietta, Georgia, outside of Atlanta, and there was a place called Eddie's Tricks and Novelties, which was the only magic store I'd ever seen in my life, and I used to just like save all my allowance money and go and like 2 times a year just blow it all on magic. So I had like 3 trunks of tricks.
Yeah.
But then I didn't do it really until like 6th grade. Then I was like, I'm going to do parties.
And I did parties
for like a year and a half until I did one that I talk about in the show where I was just like so bullied for doing it that I was like, this sucks. I'll never do it again.
What was your best trick?
God, were any of them good? Actually, the one I remember being like good because of a showman was, you know, those little things where you can sort of like, you do the trick where you're like pretending to make a napkin disappear and you're being so obvious about it that you're like throwing it over. And then you finally like shove it in your mouth and they're like, I saw it. And then you pull out the big long colored thing that's like, I could really sell that as like clown comedian.
Was it with the false thumb?
Yeah.
So the false thumb, do you know this one?
No.
Like a lot of like basic tricks, you have a fake thumb. And so if you go like this, you can pull anything out of it. You can pour salt, put it back on. And once you know it, you see it on people's hands. And you're like, how is no one noticing this big false thumb?
I mean, when I demonstrated magic it was one of my first jobs in New York, they had it was Marvin's Magic Lights. And they were 2 false thumbs.
I know those. Can I say something?
But I wasn't good enough to get that role. So I had to do the bubbles.
Something wild is I had a dear friend from growing up who visited to see the show, and they decided to bring their 6-year-old daughter on their first trip to New York, and we went to FAO Schwartz, a place, of course, I haven't been in 20 years. Every 10 feet, there's someone standing on a block with a little mic, like pitching.
That's what I did.
It's all the same toys. There's still a guy doing that.
Yep.
I couldn't believe that it's still that.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, it was better than my first job here, but it was like a really.
Did you audition for it? And they were like, "We can see the thumbs."
No, they were like, "Do you have black clothes and can kind of talk?" You know, and you're like, "Hey," I mean, you know, like it was, and you got paid by the toy. How many toys you sold that day? So there was a base pay of.
And wait, sorry, I must have misunderstood. You were doing the light one?
No, I wasn't doing.
That's the one you wanted to do.
I had to blow plastic bubbles that I'm sure gave me cancer. So it was like you take with a tiny little dot of a bubble and it blows into a big bubble. But anyways,
but magic was so cool because like this camp, it had the sense of like a teacher would show a trick and then be like, and I can't tell you how it's done. And you'd be like, please tell me how it's done. And even on the internet, there are some tricks where they've maintained a little bit of this feeling, which everything about AI, the internet, everything fights. It's the idea of like, we don't know, we'll never know. Even with that magician who gave all the tricks away, there's still some tricks, and it's so cool.
I know. I do love when there's a good magic show to go see it. Like I loved In and of Itself, which I know is actually more of like a one-man show than a magic show, but I thought the moments of magic in it were so good.
The magic, I mean, there's incredible, and I don't know how any of it's done.
Me neither.
You don't know any of it?
No. And I've actually talked to people who worked on it and made guesses, and they were like, you're wrong. And I was like, I love this. I love this that I don't know. Yes. I love that he's so good that some of the tricks in that show, I'm sort of like, I think you just did the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like the things where you've tricked me so hard that I've come to believe that maybe you just looked at the deck and instantly memorized its order, and it's like maybe you just have supernatural abilities. There's like certain tricks I think he's doing magic, and others where I'm like, I think you just memorize faces instantly. And like I don't know that I'm right, but it's like that you have tricked me enough to be like, you just have this ability.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah,
Theater.
Yeah.
Funerals are theater.
And you know him. You met him.
Yeah, he came to my show once.
I guess I still don't understand with magicians. Like, if you're close enough,
are you allowed to go? How do you do it?
Yeah, what level of closeness, or is it like no matter what, they're always going to be a dick about it?
Do their spouses know? Do you know the tricks?
Sure,
that's a great question.
I can't imagine telling Tovah like, sorry, can't say.
Well, if you're a conservative Jewish magician, definitely not. You can't tell. That'd be sensual.
Let's go to our next segment. This has got to stop.
This has got to stop.
We are doing a new thing. Patrons, join the Patreon. You can submit your own This Has Got to Stop's. Ty, do you have a This Has Got to Stop from a patron?
Yes. This is from Monzi. This has got to stop. iPad kids watching their content slop on full volume in waiting rooms. It is happening to me right now while I'm waiting for my therapist, and I want to pull my hair out. Honestly, any kind of full volume headphone-less content consumption in public. These are shared spaces, not your toilet.
Oh my God.
A lot of exclamation points out to toilet.
Okay, we do have a headphoneless epidemic. I sometimes do walk.
Non-podcast. Can't wear my clip-ons.
My tactic that I always fantasize that I've never done when someone's playing music out loud is I'm going to put on one of my songs full volume.
Meaning like a stand-up track from your album?
I hadn't thought about that, but absolutely. I do get
Or do you mean just like a song you're listening to?
I struggle. If I was in a waiting room for a therapist and someone's watching something full volume, I start raging and I want to say something and I don't.
And you're like, instead I'll just play Don't Rain on My Parade as loud as I can.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Would you ever say to someone, could you put on headphones?
Never.
Ooh.
No, you're right. I always just put my own headphones in and just like...
Yeah.
But we're as a society, we got to figure this out.
No, it's
We
true.
were talking about like people entering the train before you exit. And like as a society, we do have to enforce
That's what I'll say
politeness
something
and
about.
Now, what do you
know why?
do?
Because it's so fast.
Now,
I'll truly just go...
I've started blocking people.
I'll block and I'll go, you have to let people off first.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas
but you block
room,
it? You get in their way?
I do get in their way.
But in
I'm big,
like...
it's easy.
That's true. And I'm tall.
Yeah.
And so I sort of make it seem as if I'm not really doing it. It's just like, I am here. What are you going to do?
And I kind of stop. You just kind of stop.
Exactly.
Like, I can't keep moving and let's move.
But the difference is that conversation's so quick because you are going opposite directions.
Yes.
The waiting room, I'm like, then we're stuck in the aftermath of this.
Yeah.
I go over and go, by the way, here's a comment on you as a person, and then I just sit back down and you look at me.
Well,
it's
then
like
I would go to the therapist office and be like, so this guy up there, I couldn't say anything. And I think therapy is the best place to do it, though, because it would be good.
I'll do sidewalk etiquette, too. I'll tell people, you should stand over there.
Sure.
As I'm walking by.
But I think
you're sort of in the way. You should
I
move
say to
there.
this person, if you're about to see your therapist, that is the perfect moment to like go, you really should put headphones in, and then go into your office and be like, whoa, I just had a real experience.
I had a bad thing recently with the sidewalk etiquette where there was a big group of people kind of parked themselves. And it was after a thing that I just done. I'm going to be vague because I don't want to give away who it was. But I was going to meet people that I knew. And I come out and there's a big group of people kind of parked. And I'm like, and I was just tired and hot and blocking the whole sidewalk. And I was like, come on, what the fuck? Like that, not realizing that the people were with people that I was meeting. So 2 minutes later, they all come in. And they're like, introduce me to them. And I'm like, literally just said, come on, what the fuck to them. And we all played like, that didn't happen. And, you know.
You literally did.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't even try to be like, oh, LOL.
I just pretended fully that I would.
And then how much time did you have to spend together after that?
Not much. It was truly like it was a friend of a friend of a friend. So it was fine, but I had to meet them. And I was like,
that's
I did
really
just yell at you on the
good.
street.
Do you have a this has got to stop?
Yes. Oh, when the not in service trains come into the station and they do a little tease and they stop there and they're like, and they look air conditioned and cool, but they say not in service and they stop. Why do they stop? They stop for the amount of time it would take you to get on, and then they leave. And it's such a little tease, and you're like, where are you going? Because I know you're going to be in service soon.
You're right. If you're going to be not in service, they should tell them, do your little stop in the tunnel. When you're at the station, go dangerously
fast through it.
That's polite.
It's the little tease of like, hey, I could be opening my doors right now, but I'm not. And now we're going to go. And you're like, that's the line I need. I know you're just going uptown to like start again or something, but take me uptown.
Yeah.
Like, anyways.
If you had the time for that, you have the time for me.
Yeah.
100%. My this has got to stop, and I might do two if we have time. My this has got to stop. Corporate merch. Some of this. Give me a pen. Give me a good pen. I don't need this fucking. I went to a social media company. I went to some meeting and they gave me truly some of the worst merch I've ever seen. This is multi-trillion dollar. No, it was one of the big fucking cups. One of the big fucking cups with like it was the cheapest version of what this was, and it broke the second I got home. And they gave me an ugly
don't give me
tote.
anything. I know they're doing it for advertising, but it's like, just give me money.
Give me money.
What if these places just gave everybody a $1 bill as you walked out?
But you give me a good pen, I'll use it for a long time. This thing, I'm going to come home, I use it once, the top broke off, and I said, fuck it. I threw it away. Some of this corporate merch is just so lazy. And I know they just say, fucking make the tote and the big
make
cup.
It cheap, and it's
tote and the big cup. I don't want it. Give me something small.
Yeah.
Give me something small. I'll use it for. Give me a good keychain.
Yeah.
Give me a little flashlighty thing. I'll keep that for a long time.
You're in the dark a lot.
I'm in the dark a lot. And I'm going to do one more.
Also, I have one more too.
Oh, good.
But it's meta. It's about the
Speaking of the company
I was going
to say. What's yours?
My This Has Gotta Stop is about This Has Gotta Stop, the segment. Sometimes we'll use these as clips, and it's meant to be fun, lighthearted. I don't know if we need people seriously responding to it.
Hold up. I like engagement of any kind. You're right. Russell's take about cold brews was misogynistic. And I think we need to get down to why, and so I need some more comments explaining.
No! We need no more comments about my coffee
Can I read exactly
opinions.
what it said? You texted it to me.
Listen, I gotta say this to this person, too, who called me misogynist for my coffee opinions.
Russell...
I looked them up on Instagram.
Guys, believe you me, if you're leaving a tough comment for Russell, he knows your address.
This is a guy who, if you cross your arms at Ginger Twinsies, he's decided your husband hits you.
I love it because it's like, I think I'm seen as like the crazy one.
His actual opinion of mine.
So, yeah.
I
watch the comments you leave.
So, someone commented, I love a simple cold brew as much as the next guy, but coffee elitism is so tired and boring. Maybe a hot take, but I feel like it's often based in misogyny too.
Because you were pro or anti cold brew?
Pro cold brew.
Great. Again, another gay thing. Gays love to be like, we are obsessed with cold brew all the year round, regardless of the weather.
I mean, yeah, I do like cold brew all year round. And
it's taste. It's not temperature.
It's taste. It's not temperature.
I have hot coffee in the middle of August right now when I'm an actress, I'm like, I want a warm version.
Mm-hmm. But listen. So... people responding so seriously, calling us boomers, calling us all these things, all for a fun little segment. So I just think it's a little frustrating. And also this person, I do have to say, I looked them up, and I got to say, we have to reorder how mad we get about certain things, because they're mad. They're calling me a misogynist over my coffee opinion, but they have a quote from Barack Obama in their thing.
Here we go.
And let me just say, no, you know what? Maybe that's not fair. Maybe she called out Barack Obama for his drone program too,
or that he was against gay marriage until it was politically convenient.
And maybe he apologized for it, and then that's.
Can I briefly say, drone warfare is misogynistic? Actually, and no one's talking about that. I know everybody wants a hot take, but drone warfare is misogynistic.
So anyways, it shouldn't bother me, but I'm going to stop reading again. But somehow I've upset a lot of people about coffee this week.
My second this gotta stop is there's so many versions of this in the world, this arguing tactic, but people like Trump was on the top of the White House taking weird questions from reporters, and it was weird. And it's this thing of it's just weird. And they go,
it was weird.
It was weird. It was weird. And
it was up there.
And people do this. If Biden had done this, the news would have never shut the fuck. And I go, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And if you need that, the world is unfair. It's been set up unfair. But all this is just like whining. It's just whining. It's not like dealing with anything. It's not convincing anyone. So you're just whining. And I think we need to move past the whining phase of taking down the current administration.
Yeah, but if Biden had done 9/11 as an inside job, the media would not shut up about it.
Yeah. I agree.
I say we get Biden and Trump on the roof together and see what happens.
And they do West Side Story.
Yes. Get them both up there.
And they do In the Heights.
Get every former president on the roof of the White House right now, and let's do some kind of performance.
And have them do.
Gio Russell, actually, he just got cast as the replacement female lead for Maybe Happy Ending.
Is that why you had that written down? You wanted to say
joke.
that so bad.
I wanted to make this joke
so bad. That was the top of your list of the Josh Sharp episode. Is like, how can I squeeze this joke in?
And it only took him 82 minutes to find it.
Oh yeah. Do you have this? Got to stop.
Yeah, deeply personal. This has got to stop tendinitis. Now, when I was going into a 7-show-a-week schedule, I thought for sure this is going to be the hard part. I had polyps in 2018. I've been trying to be very careful about this. She's tired, but she's getting through because I back-assed learned some technique from this awful injury I had in 2018. And you know what happens last week? Because I'm doing a show where I click a clicker every 2 seconds, I am starting to truly get gamer thumb. And so we have a PT coming to help me and I was like, Hero was worried about this, and I'm getting gamer thumb because I built a show where I click every 2 seconds. Yeah. Isn't that so funny? It's like the really most obvious. It's actually not that bad yet, but we're starting to be like, oh no, it could. Like, imagine I have to call out of a show because my thumb doesn't work. So we're getting ahead of it because it started to hurt, and we're like,
have you tried your left hand?
I haven't tried that yet, but I'm like, if something happened, that's what we would do. For now, we're just like, well,
why don't you try it before it stops working?
For now, we're just doing stretches and stuff so that it doesn't, like, this one can still do it. And then the other thing is, and this has been a blessing, I'm now one of those people who I'm like, other than doing the show, I don't text like this anymore, which means partly I'm just like off my phone. I just don't respond to things. I'll do it on the laptop, or I truly will with my fucking pointer fingers. Yeah. But I'm much more ergonomic about my phone use because I'm overusing my thumb, so I have to be really good about the rest of it.
You know the trope of like the football player. It's like, you can't play this game, and they do, and they die. Or the wrestler. It's you.
It's me and my thumb in my fucking PowerPoint.
Stop clicking.
Luckily, PowerPoint comedy will end after this special, as we all know. Thank God.
Yeah.
I've took a stake to its heart, and in doing so, I will die for you. So yeah, these tendons got to get stronger. I can't believe they can't just do this for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
But it is true. It's like repetitive motion that it's not supposed to do. As soon as it happened, my stage manager was like, I've been worried about this since day one. In such a stage manager way. Yeah. I was like, my thumb hurts today. She's like, I'm already on it. I told them we need a PT, and now one's coming.
That's great.
Let's go on to, I was imagining your hand dead in a crime scene, and then they do one of the chalk outlines of the hand, and then someone makes a turkey out of it. You see Naked Gun yet?
I just saw it before this.
Oh my! Before this?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I went in the daytime. It was so great.
Did you?
It was great.
You saw it?
Yeah.
God, that one line, man.
Which one?
Tovah and I laughed so hard.
Which one?
The toilet.
She had a kind of bottom that would make it. She had a kind of bottom that would make any toilet
beg for that brown.
Beg for the brown. Beg for the brown.
I also loved when they tell him it's electric car. In my day, the only things electric were eels, chairs, and Catherine Zeta-Jones in Chicago. Loved that.
Yeah. UCLA? Yeah, I live here.
Yeah,
that was so good.
Man.
It was a lot. It was so
and
good.
Perfect length, 82 minutes, just like Dick's the Musical.
Yeah.
Let's go to our final segment.
Great.
You better count your blessings.
Russell, do you have a blessing?
Wait, go first. Let me think.
Sometimes when I ask you, I do it for like a very specific
I have one.
reason.
Okay, yeah,
you
you go
need.
first.
As part of doing this gig, joshsharptada.com at the Greenwich Arts Theater through 9/11. Because as we know, the schedule's demanding, and off Broadway you're not doing for the pay. I'm not even complaining. I feel so blessed to be doing this show. I fucking love it. But in preparing for this, I was like, one thing to get myself through it is I want to live in the romance. I want to lean into like, you're in the West Village in the summer. I was like, I remember saying like, I want to go to Via Carota twice a week, and I'd be doing that. I'm like, I managed to sort of get in there in a way. That? Via Carota?
You've never been?
One of New York's great restaurants.
Yeah.
Oh. And so now I'm going there all the time. It's one of those where it's like hard to get into. You have to put in a name. It takes forever. Of course, because I have the show now, they know, and I can like get a table sometimes. I'm blessed. Oh. So the other night I was there with Sam Pinkleton, director of Josh Sharp Tada. And for dessert, we just got this dessert that was like, like strawberries and fresh cream. And when I took a bite of that, I truly was like, this is why we're alive. Like nothing is better than this. And same with the they've got bruschetta with big scoops of butter and anchovies, and it's like the savory version where you're like, this is so simple and so perfect. My God, why are we alive if not to just sort of like have a bite of this and grab your friend's hand and go, doesn't that taste good?
It is something about, especially because both of our shows. What time does your show start?
7.
Same.
So I'm done by 8:30, out by 9. Perfect time for a late dinner.
So you get out and you're like in the East Village, and I usually take the crosstown bus to the West Village to go home. But when you're in the East Village, West Village, it's like
it's romance.
In the summer, it's so much is happening. It is romance. It's really nice. It's like it's a really like alive feeling that I haven't had in a long time. Of like, oh my God, look, everyone's always out having a nice meal. And
I'm using that as the gas to get through this thing that's sort of like depleting and exhausting, and it's working. But the thing I really clocked the other day was like, damn, these strawberries and cream taste so good.
Yeah. But can I tell you, the fact that you articulated, I feel like I have a lot of good meals on my own now because of the touring, and to do it alone lacks a thing. The way that you described it, it's grabbing a friend's hand and saying, "Isn't that so good?"
That's true.
Like for anyone, if sometimes I post a lot of pictures of meals these days, and it's because that's the closest I can get to that feeling.
Well, but the other side of it, I'll say, is last summer I was jonesing for a solo trip because I hadn't done one since I went to like Europe in 2019 for like 2 weeks alone, and I hadn't done one of those in so long, but I didn't really have the time or frankly the money, and so I went, what can I do? And I said, I'm just gonna go to Montreal for the weekend. And I was like, because actually I love Montreal. I hadn't been in 15 years, and I was like, there's actually a great solo version of it where one, you bike around because it was like September, beautiful weather, and biking's sort of better to do on your own. And I was like, and at night I'll be a gay gremlin, which I can happily do alone. I'll like meet people, and I was like, and I want to go to stunty restaurants where there's this one, Mon Vin Lapine, that's like Canada's best restaurant, 4 years running, impossible to get a reservation, takes 6 months. I rolled up alone. I was like, you have any space for one? And they were like, since you're a solo, yes. And that romance of like, I'm sitting at the bar alone at Canada's best restaurant, no one can get a table. There is a version of solo dining that's very romantic. If I could be a gay
gremlin after it, sure.
That's true.
But I think
but then I made friends with the people there.
I know, but you're good. I did like a Europe trip when I was 21, like alone, and it was like this huge adventure of my life that I feel this almost pain or almost like no one knows. I'm just too lonely.
Yeah.
And I'm alone a lot, but that's very nice.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. But you can't like sort of strike up a combo with the people at the bar with you?
I've gotten way better in a way
sometimes
that
you have to.
If there's anything that like someone says, I'm proud of you or good for this, I'm like, honestly, the thing that I feel like people should be proud is that I've gotten better at speaking to people.
Well, yeah. This one that I also am describing, to be fair to you, I was charmed, where it's like, not only did I get in this restaurant, I thought I was prepared to be like, it's just not going to happen. It not only happened, I sat next to this guy who sort of struck up conversation with me when he heard it was my first time. He was like, it's your first time? And I was like, yeah, I just came alone. And he was like, oh, I'm friends with the owner. Let me call him over. So I meet the owner. The owner's like, it's your first time. So then I'm getting like sent one. You know what I mean? Like it was like literally like actually romance.
I went to the Kit Kat Club in Berlin by myself, and there I am in my fucking cock harness and whatever, and I'm standing there and I'm like, yeah, sex clubs for one when you have a girlfriend back in the States. And by the way, even if I was single, it still would have been the worst time of my entire life.
Do you know because he put it in his book, but Larry Charles, the director of Dicks, have you ever heard his story about going to the Kit Kat Club?
No, what does he say?
When they were researching Bruno, they went there, and it was like him and Sasha and a bunch of people, and famously you can't get in unless you're in fetish gear.
Yeah.
And he rolled up in his like drab suit and with his long beard, and the rest of them were all like naked or whatever. But he says they looked at me and they truly thought I was a rabbi, and they said, "Okay, come on in, sir." So he went in a full suit. I think he's the only person to be let in clothed, because they thought he was just a rabbi there, and they were like, "Well, that's kinky. A rabbi coming to the Kit Kat Club." So I think he's the only human who's been let in clothed to just sort of wander the Kit Kat Club in a suit, which I think is wonderful.
Do you do your blessing?
Oh, my blessing is I've gotten to see so many friends, people I've worked with in the past. The people have been coming to the show. It's been so nice to get to reconnect and see so many people.
It runs through for a while, right?
And October 26th.
Depends.
That's great. But but this is good because I
Till
can't.
when? When's the
we have the same
October
schedule.
26th.
October 26th.
I'm going to see it in October.
Yes.
Great. Lohan didn't make it by?
Not yet.
Come on, Lindsay.
No
For
pressure.
me, no pressure. Come on the pod first, though. There was a guy, seems to be in college, named Busby, Buzby, made a video doing an impersonation of me on the stool, all these different poses.
Oh, so you're a lawyer. What kind of lawyer? A mental health lawyer. Wow. Tell me about that. What is the worst thing you've ever seen in a patient?
And it was very funny. And then I shared it. And then Mike Birbiglia, who we've had little interactions here and there, but I admire Mike Birbiglia. He came up to me at the cellar and he said, "I saw this video of you, is so funny. And what's weird is I've never seen any of your videos, but it felt like it was so accurate." And I was like, "Well, you have seen my video now. Essentially, that's me."
Also, it's like he gave away.
Yeah, and in a way, it's like. Because of your impression of me, Mike Birbiglia, in the long ladder of people knowing who you are, might look at a video.
Yeah.
And
wow,
I appreciate it. I think they're moving to New York City to be a comic, so now I gotta
be a Gianmarco cover comic.
I have to give advice from 10 years ago as if it were relevant at all today.
Yeah.
My advice: TikTok followers, kid. Do whatever you have to do to get them.
You know the only advice I ever give when I'm doing that kind of talk that happens every 6 months? Because I agree, I'm like, I don't know what to do. The things I did, you shouldn't do anymore. The only true advice is first year in New York, all is forgiven. When people who just moved here to do what we do are like, it's 3 months and I haven't accomplished this goal or the other, I'm like, the first year, you just got to figure out how to pay your rent and make some friends and take the subway.
Yeah.
Don't say a word to me for 12 months about I haven't done X. Take that off yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good advice.
I'll tell them that. That's a lot quicker conversation than, okay, this club, this poker.
I'm like, girl, do whatever you want for a year. It doesn't matter. Just learn how the subways work.
Learn how the subway works. Busby.
Make some friends and pay your rent.
Mm-hmm. Where can people find you, Josh?
I'm only on the Instagram.com. Powered by Meta at Cluck Cluck Josh Sharp. That's
I got a great tote bag for you if you want to represent.
I would love it, and a broken cup I hear,
and a broken Dredge cup.
and please come see Josh Sharp Tovah at the Greenwich House Theater now through September 11th.
Russell, where can people find you?
At Russell J. Daniels on Instagram. And after you have seen Josh Sharp's show, come see Ginger Twinsies at the Orpheum Theater in the East Village.
Saturday, you could pull a 2-show day.
You could do that, yeah.
Do you know a lot of people have DM'd me recently saying they're pulling these insane 3-show days?
3-show days, yeah.
And some of them make sense. It's like, I saw Oh Mary, and then I saw yours, and
why
then I saw...
Why don't you try to do a Barbie, what do they call it? With Barbenheimer
Tovah Twinsies?
Twinsies. Ginger Da.
Yeah. Ginger Da.
You can find me everywhere online, touring, and please join the Patreon, patreon.com/downside. You can submit your own This Has Gotta Stops. You get 4 bonus episodes every month, plus footage from a live episode.
Yeah, we're doing a lot more on Patreon these days.
We're doing a lot. It's growing. We got some great guests. I'm just going to say it, put it out. No, I won't, because this
because they need to join.
Order. What?
They need to join the Patreon to find out whatever it is you're going to say.
But sure, we tell them on the Patreon. We also tell what guests... You'll find out what guests we were supposed to have.
Oh yeah, before
on
they
the Patreon
cancel.
Before they canceled the day of. How would you say "tada" at the end of a magic trick? How would you do it? What would be your style?
Okay. I really want to think about it. Ta-da!
Really?
Yeah.
Real classic and song.
Yeah.
That's
song.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Oh yeah.
What's yours?
At the time, ta-da! Like gay little kid.
And your mom's like, God, give me a sign.
God, give me a sign.
This is the downside.
That was a Headgum podcast.